Okay, I'm going to try to make this as short as possible. Ha! Wow, WAPTech, stop embarrassing yourself. You're an absolute sheep. I'm going to read a bunch of things here. Figure out what they're about. I'm skipping the stuff that's on specific subjects. You're one of two things: stupid as shit, or purposefully just talking to hear yourself. I'm answering your questions. What does that make you? Next, this is actually all from one person, it looks like, but it might be from more than one, so let's just read all of the insults. Dude, how can you talk so condescending when you're as clueless as F? I get accused of being condescending by people all the time. That's fine. Actually, I don't. I get accused of being condescending by people who do what you're doing. This may or may not be a different person here. Let's continue. Oh, by the way, that was underneath a video where I explained the origin story for a quote is actually not true because it's a lie about somebody. That's sometimes called debunking stuff. Next. Let's see. WAPTech, you're just some dude who thinks he's far more intelligent than he is. You aren't even remotely good at knowing your ass from your elbow. I'm a contortionist. Go to hell. Next. Otherwise, you would have known the most obvious stuff in the world, which is that the Democrats and the Republicans are the same team. No, they're not. They really actually are not the same team. They're the same species. You know, just one's blue on one side and one's blue on the other. Red or blue, but no white. They're not patriotic. Maybe there's a little grayscale in there. Anyway, next. Our two-party system is simply put in place to give slow-mated simpletons like WAPTech the illusion of choice. Why don't you take a break from YouTube and go study? Do some worthwhile research on how to effectively practice critical thinking. Otherwise, you're going to keep wasting your breath over irrelevant stuff. Well, thank you very much for commenting on my irrelevant video that you're trying to downplay the importance of by not reading his proofs here. We're just going to do this. It's nothing more than theater for the simpletons. It's irrelevant stuff. Then why do you care about me debunking it? Or explaining that the people trying to debunk it by creating a conspiracy theory 100 times more complicated are also part of the problem. Alt media and otherwise known as right-wing media. They're not alt. They're not alt media. It's right-wing psycho media. And it goes horseshoe and you get left-wing media. The Antifa stuff. Goo. But whack jobs are just whack jobs. They're not any different either. All of you are wanting a piece of the power pie. So me debunking a lie, posting facts, giving links to it most of the time, this is a waste of my time. Okay, now, what was this about? What was this person commenting? Well, actually, this might be more than one person. It doesn't seem like it. Could be any subject I've covered. This one has to be political because, in case anybody's curious, the way you run interference for political groups is you make it about the politics and not about what really happened. A guy randomly deciding to go to Las Vegas and kill a bunch of people has to be about Democrats versus Republicans. Even though, and this is important for you to listen to, neither party is really important in any way at all. No, they're not. Have you noticed in your local neighborhood, in your local county, district, province, state, district, whatever, the politicians in most cases are nonpartisan because it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or not. It just matters if you can manage the city or, keep the trains running on time, Mussolini style. Shouldn't matter whether you're Democrat or Republican. But if you make it about that, then it's not about what you do to fulfill the job. If the dog catcher tells you continually he's a Republican or a Democrat, I can guarantee you he doesn't know how to catch a damn dog. You're the one talking about this two-party system, they're the same team. Well, you could make that argument if you want to, just actually do so instead of just assuming that we're supposed to believe you. It's not that we don't understand you, it's that we don't believe you. Because why would we? I've been a third rail, not third party geek for a long time, but I do vote Democrat or Republican just to keep them off keel. I don't want Democrats and Republicans to be comfortable. I don't want term limits. I want one-term elected officials. The max period of time you should be in power in any one position is 4 years, period, full stop. You shouldn't have a second term as president, because if you haven't noticed this, Trump is still on the campaign trail. He wants to be a 3-term president. He wants to pardon himself. He wants to continually say that there's no collusion, but even if there is, it's not illegal. And even if it is illegal, well, he'll pardon himself. That's not covering your ass or backpedaling. That's polishing your butt. This isn't... none of this is sane. The only sane option is not to play the game, and the game is between two parties. Stop electing Democrats and Republicans for anything. In the past, I would vote on purpose Republican, Democrat, Republican, Democrat. I'd just flip back and forth every 2 years. But for a presidential election, like you do with a leap year, I would just go ahead and vote whichever one would be the least problematic, the least trouble. And you'd be surprised how many times I voted Republican in the past, because it was the least stupid person. I didn't like Ronald Reagan, but some of you will agree with me that there's kind of a reason to miss him, even though he was screwed up. He had more class sometimes. No, Charlton Heston didn't get elected president. That wasn't something that could happen. Yeah, I don't care if he was in the NRA, I would have voted for him, because he had some integrity. None of that has anything to do with being Republican or Democrat. So anyway, what are the on-topic things the person talked about? Well, let's do the first assertion you can read below. After telling me I'm a sheep and I'm embarrassing myself and whatever. There's more than enough evidence for someone with a working brain to know the story was absolute BS from the get-go. This is an assertion you're going on based on, well, let's listen. This is your reasoning. Las Vegas Police Department couldn't get their timeline straight. Their body cam and scanner audio indicated, I'm not letting you say confirmed, indicated multiple shooters, and then you hear confirmed because someone doesn't know anti-conspiracy theory radio communication, otherwise known as anti-ambiguity communication. You'd hear confirmed. Someone edited out the part, no shooter, confirmed. That's not how you communicate in the radio. So I'm one of two things: stupid as shit, or purposely just talking to hear myself. I'd rather talk about something else. Well, let's go on to this one. I'm going to teach you. You're going to learn something. You're going to learn. So here we go. You hear this transmission. Are you at the Tropicana? Repeat back. Unit 4 at Tropicana. Not Unit 4 I am. No, Unit 4 at Tropicana. And then Unit 5 says, Unit 5 requesting, are you at Tropicana? Do you hear shots? Response, my unit number, Unit 4, Unit 6 can interrupt. Unit 6, at Tropicana, no shots. Repeat, no shooting, no shots. Then you hear from the dispatcher, confirmed. Then the immediate response is, response to dispatch, what are you confirming? Repeat it verbatim. And then you get dead silence. And then the dispatcher is supposed to say, dispatcher will repeat or be replaced. Confirmed, no shooter at Tropicana. Confirmed, no shots. No shooting at Tropicana. Why am I saying that? Hey, Becky, yeah, you're going to speak a full sentence or you're fired. Why? You're fired, Becky. Becky got fired. because we had dozens and dozens of trucks moving in around in the yard with tons and tons of material, and lots of people needed to be in the right spot at the right time or they're going to get hurt, and Becky wasn't paying attention. Becky was the boss's wife. Boss's wife was fired, replaced by her daughter. Daughter ran the place like a top. Why are you up there? I'm the boss's wife. You're fired. Now, I'm just making this up, obviously. I wouldn't fire the boss's wife. Unless he wanted her fired anyway. No, really. Communication should be non-ambiguous. Every single radio call you listen to the non-ambiguous statements. Yeah, we're hearing shots. Break from dispatch. Where are you? Unit 15. I'm at the Tropicana. You said you heard shots. Are you hearing shots, or did you hear them at all at Tropicana? Repeat. Yes or no, and full sentence. Then you hear a recording. I'm at the Tropicana. I haven't heard any shots. I heard shots on the radio. Response back. Negatory. You heard radio chatterbox mode. We have a fresh audio recording of it as well. It's a radio disturbance. Happens every time we switch over relays or whatever the heck the reason is. Do not, under any conditions, say anything unless you are witnessing it. You're on report. Reply in the affirmative. Click dispatch. I am on report for repeating something I didn't see. The more you humiliate a person, the more they either lock down and you fire them for it, or they say, I really did screw up, and they don't do it again because they don't want to look like an idiot. We don't do that to police. It's called accountability. Let's move on. Timeline not getting right. Yeah, Lombardo should have shut the hell up unless he knew a fact. Lombardo didn't witness it? Then he should say, I'm not going to be up here anymore because I said something that was simply wrong. I'm firing myself from this job. You're going to get written reports, and the only way they're going to get reported to you is if checked by 3 people who are willing to sign off and say this is a fact. Not opinion, not the truth, a fact. Goodbye, mic drop. He would have lasted 5 minutes if I was running the place. I made the CEO of a major bank, I'm not naming which one, Eubank, leave their own building because they violated security rules at the downtown location. Why? Because he's an idiot. Not telling you what year. But it wasn't 1994. So anyway, yeah, he got kicked out of his own building because he broke security protocol. Well, I'm the owner of the building. No, actually, you're not. You're the owner of a very multinational bank or whatever, but you don't own the building. Get the hell out. Your card's burned. Why? Because I'm literally going to light it on fire. I put it through the shredder and lit it on fire. You're not getting in the building. You got to reapply for your security pass. Because he's incompetent. Got a pay raise. Then I got fired. But anyway, I mean, really, let's move on. Bernie Sanders supporter Seth Rich was killed after he did WikiLeaks to Julian Assange, who's 100% accurate, and so is WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks and Julian Assange are not 100% accurate. Julian Assange had an axe to grind against Hillary Clinton, and Seth Rich was very upset about the leak because it didn't do him any good because his party was going under, and at the time he knew that the Republicans winning, who cares? But Donald Trump winning was very bad. And in case you didn't notice, Donald Trump lost by 3 million votes that were legitimate votes. Both parties gerrymandered and rigged the election. It wouldn't have been something Seth Rich would leak information for, because unless you think he's stupid enough not to understand that it would screw over his party even more. I didn't want Hillary Clinton to win either, but she was all we had. I wouldn't have cared. Donald Trump made me vote for her, because Donald Trump was literally the most of the two evils, not the least. I wanted Bernie Sanders to win too, like everybody else in the Democratic Party, in case you haven't noticed. But, yeah, we got screwed. The only thing worse than getting screwed by having Bernie not win would be to have Trump win. Trump started off making us all think that he was just playing a game. He wasn't. He really is unglued. Once we realized, no, this isn't propaganda, he really is messed up, no, we didn't want to be involved. And there were indications while Seth Rich was alive that it was probably being done partially by the Russians, which is confirmed by Donald Trump's bizarre denial pattern. It wasn't in Seth Rich's best interest to leak the information in any way. It would have just made things worse, and he wouldn't be stupid enough to believe otherwise. You'd have to be stupid enough to believe otherwise. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with it.